here, aka Professional High Priestess, and I just have a message regarding kids switched at birth. So, you guys know that we've been talking about some of the things that have been going on, wherein I started getting stalked and harassed by a group of like white people who were working with like dishonorable and delusional black and brown people and families um, who were stalking people's farms, harassing people's businesses, targeting their kids, etc., and trying to start drama with magic. So, one of the things that has gotten started here is that group of people, they ended up getting exposed for several things that they were doing. And the only reason why they got exposed is because they stalked and harassed me for so long. And it was so profuse and it was so extreme that they ended up like exposing their hand that they were trying to hide, which is using this technology, using hacking technologies, stealing farms and switching people's kids at birth, mainly the switching of children at birth. Okay. So I just have to say, on one hand, what you guys are going to hear is very extreme, but it's going to help the community understand what's going on. Okay, so that's why they're doing that, because I was wondering who will be stupid enough or ridiculous enough to be switching people's kids at birth. That's so out of control. Tu bebe, right? You know, like that type of thing. Why would they do that? Because even in my mind, I was like, why would you do that? Aren't you ready for like that? That's so much karma and chaos. What ended up happening in the last 6 to 7 years, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background history on what's going on in Spanish America because of Dole, Chiquita, and Goya Foods. Now, some of you guys have been coming on my channel and I do the rest in peace report where I show people that have passed away. I just want to tell you that Jim Harbaugh passed away today. He was the head coach for the Baltimore Ravens. The head doctor for the I believe it was the New England Patriots. He was the head doctor for them and another team. He passed away too, and their families are all involved in this. He just passed away as well. One of the things that's going on here is these individuals, there's white rebel groups, white people that like came to Spanish America years ago to start slavery. They are still running around, and you guys know that this is very obvious in what's currently going on in Cuba. They call them the Lenchon or the Pernil, like white families that they look very white and they play like too much and they start a bunch of shit. These white families were organizing sellout families as like paramilitias, right? Paramilitary groups, not guerrilla warfare groups, paramilitary groups, white supremacist groups, right wing groups to harass the farm, land, and family of the indigenous people, the mestiza, aka like mixed with Spanish and indigenous people, and the blacks, Garifuna, because some of you guys know about the Garifuna, and the Seminole, and the other, they call it a Chingonca, people that are living in those areas. So they said, let's pay these ops and work with the whites to set up their family. They were kidnapping their mothers, putting them on farms. Like, I'm like 5 or 6 years old and I have two siblings. I had to learn how to work early. We were getting on guaguas, going back and forth across rivers, learning how to fish, catching fish with our hands, selling rocks, selling bananas and things like that that we will find because our mothers disappeared so they can go work on the farms for these companies. That's a very vicious war that you guys reactivated playing with spell work and brujeria because they thought it was okay to go play with those families. So, you know, my wife, she disappeared. And then what do you need to tell me because she had like light eyes and she was lighter skinned or had brown hair? You mixed her with a white man so they can get babies to adopt out to white families. They were doing that too. Bracero program. Bracero program. And this is where you get the LA Zoot Suit riots, right? So some of you guys need to understand the history for a lot of you newcomers, right? And a lot of the black and brown community that's here, you guys need to understand what happened in Spanish America. They were very fucking gully and out of control with what they did. Now, some of you guys did not know that they were doing that. like, oh, they kidnapped my dad. He was like the breadwinner for our family. So my mom, she had to get into, suavecita, sex work. So she married a bad man in the military, so that we can have food to eat and things like that. And they were horrible. Stuff like that was like every single day in Spanish America because of what those three companies did, let alone what they started in Hawaii, because you saw what they did in Hawaii and then you saw what they did to the last queen of Hawaii, Queen Lily. And this is why there's a solidarity in our community between the blacks and all the browns. And some of you guys are Asian. You're like, am I black or am I brown? Why are you asking that question? You're a person of color. You need to figure out where you stay in that, right? Because this war that is getting started with white people, this war that's getting started with white people, you guys are going to have to like fight the last end of it. So now what's getting started here is that there's like a bunch of people that are now coming to the realization like, oh, okay, I didn't know all that was going on in Spanish America. We didn't know that that was happening. We shouldn't have been trying to go against our employers to get a little bit of this. Well, they said that if we, traffic these people or set this family up, then we can get papers and we can get SSI because I don't want to work. Nonsense like that. You guys should have never done that because you reactivated that. Now, given all that history, there's some people that really were not fucking playing with what they call the Medellin. It's all over Spanish America, even down into Brazil, etc. It's white people that organize, sell out Spanish folks and sell out people of color to play games, start drama, even start fake land justice movements and stuff like that, just to say, well, we advocated for our rights and well, we got a little bit of this. Yeah, but that's our farm. That's our land. What do you mean they're giving you our land? Stuff like that was going on. One of the things that you guys really need to understand is these people were not fucking playing. Some of the Spanish people and the Mestiza people, it's like mixed, they were working with like individuals that burned down plantations and got their freedom. Some of you guys know about like the Palenque. It's like free towns. That was like very prevalent in Spanish America, where like droves of black people, they were fucking murdering whites, slave owners, etc., putting them on ships, sending them back to Spain. It got so bad that if you guys read the story of I believe his name is Junipero Serra. He's one of the Catholic priests, the missionaries that came down to Spanish America to come and like, what's going on with the blacks, and we're settling the indigenous people. He was like, this, what we did is actually absolutely fucking disastrous. We should have never came down here. The way that people were finding out how to get from the old world, aka Spain, to the new world, Spanish America, is they were following trails of bodies because they were trying to kidnap blacks and indigenous people and they were killing them. That's what was going on. Like, they were not playing. So that guerrilla warfare is still existing. These people, mainly the Nicaragua community, the Honduras community, the Guatemala community, and some parts of Mexico, they are switching their kids at birth because those people waged a vicious fucking war on the whites in Spanish America and the sellouts. I'm talking about bullet holes in their head. You can't have any quinces here because we're lighting this place up until you stop it and you return all our mothers and all of our sisters and all of our daughters to the farm. That's what they were doing. Now, some of you guys keep on hearing me talk about the California Endowment. Some of you guys have read that 37 file. Go on their page, their website. Martha Jimenez, their legal counsel, her family, they are the whites that are doing that. That's why this is like hella explosive. Her family is the one that's doing that. She used to work for like the first like Latino healthcare foundation in the state of California. They were getting data and switching people's fucking kids at birth and tracking families. Like, oh, look at them. They wrote down their names. They're getting healthcare now. Okay, look, so now they need us. Well, not necessarily, but okay, they're here. Okay, I'm gonna change all that. Contacting La Migra, starting hella shit. I have my papers, I have everything. Okay, so I've been here for 3 weeks in immigration jail. Can I go home now? I know exactly why I'm here. It's because our family went against you in Nicaragua because of what you started that was so dishonorable. Little 3 and 4-year-old black kids, all of them, the whole village gone to go work on these farms. You guys don't understand that this is a vicious history that they reactivated playing games with that technology and playing with me with brujeria and starting to my shit. So then what they said is like, oh, okay, we're going to create MS-13 to keep you in check and start hella drama with you. And then we're going to make a bunch of stories up and make it seem as if you created MS-13. And this is why El Salvador is the way that it is. You guys need to go see some of that shit that's on the news. Some of these documentaries about El Salvador. El Salvador is very dangerous. A lot of the times these kids can't go to school. They were kidnapping droves of little girls. A lot of them sex work, disappeared, hair gone for weave. El Salvador is a place that you cannot go for travel. You cannot really like step outside like that because it was too out of control. Because what? Pequite. Fentanyl and meth that they were giving these gangs and saying, here's drugs, here's guns, you can do what you want. And it was reckless and it was lawless. Because Honduras, Nicaragua, and Guatemala, they created a like truce that they were gonna fight like the good fight and get rid of all the whites and stop all the bullshit and stop like all the nonsense. What's going on in El Salvador right now is about like 3 farms that they're trying to get to in like some like land area, like 3 like off islands and things like that that they're trying to play with. And now you see why they're switching people's kids at birth. Oh, because they went bad on them. Like Mac bad on them. Like you see what's going on in the streets right here in Oakland? They did that like to like the thousandth power. Like I'm talking about like bodies everywhere, like women getting hacked up, like hella shit going on. Like gully, because the whites were taking it too fucking far and then they were organizing the sellouts and it just went way too far. So this was happening in the last like year where they were like really like starting hella shit. This will happen in the last like 6 to 7 years where they were organizing a bunch of people and they were trying to get a bunch of stuff started. Sorry. So that was one of the things that ended up getting started. So now you guys are like, okay, so that's why they're switching people's kids at birth to get back at their daughters, because the fathers and the grandfathers and the uncles, they all organized because of the nonsense that they had started with MS-13 and the chaos that they had created with Medellin cartel and the nonsense that they created for the blacks in Spanish America. Now, a lot of you guys are watching my channel. You do not know that you made it like 100 times worse for dark-skinned people in Spanish America because of what you fucking started. So now some of you guys are like, okay, why can't I get unemployment anymore? They're telling me that I didn't work enough to get unemployment, that they have like some new like policy. Okay, why can't I get a job though? Man, this is not fentanyl. This is like good weed. Like, okay, but I feel like shit. This is happening to you because you guys actively had a hand in starting too much shit, which reactivated all that nonsense. And in between these last like 5 years that this nonsense has been going on, they switched at least like 18 kids at birth within the Guatemalan, Honduras, Mexican, and Nicaraguense community. Now, some of you guys are like, okay, what is going on? Because a lot of the Spanish people that are watching, you know exactly though those families. You know those families that like they bust back and they don't fucking play and they organize. We brought you here, we will take you right across that border. They do that all the time. Like people that they help come here, they start shit, they take them right across the border. It doesn't matter if your kids were born here, they take them right back across that border. And that's done. These people have that much power. You know who their families are. They were switching their daughters' children at birth because these ratchet ass white Mexican Spanish families, they collaborated with white people. Like, oh, we can grow pharmacy herbs for them. They get herbs, they get light-skinned babies, and in exchange, we get to switch people's kids at birth. So this is something that they recommended, and they had gotten started playing with white people. That's what they were doing. That's how they do it in the hospital. They play with white people. Okay, we have another family. Okay, no. Those were our allies down there. They were helping us get farms, and they were helping us get women, and they were helping us get coke. Oh, okay, they killed all 6 of you. Okay, we're not gonna have that anymore. Gavin Newsom, and identifying, that's what they were doing, and identifying their daughters. And one of them I know. And one of them from Mexico, I showed you guys what happened with their kids. They switched their kids at birth. Yikes, and the parents got DNA tests. Because the kids don't look anything like each other and they look nothing like the parents. Right. So for the Spanish community now, where do we go from here? It's letting people know like, okay, this is why they're switching people's kids at birth. Because I was wondering, who would be that fucking stupid to be playing like that? For the Spanish community, you guys know those families that they fight the good fight. You know what I'm talking about. Like they will light up your whole entire farm. They will set your farm on fire. They will kill the police. They don't really come out. But when they come out, that's like years and years of warfare. And that's why they were trying to hide this and keep this quiet. Because they hacked my phone and got into one of those families' phone and started a war that's about to end because hella people got killed. And then also, too, they didn't want certain families finding out. What do you mean there's a black woman in virtual reality and she's doing something in the computer for us? We can have free electricity, free Wi-Fi, free everything. Okay, and then what am I hearing about people's kids getting switched at birth and there's something with 313 and like these numbers popping up because you're playing with some nonsense of women with no color from space and they don't have any mind. And what am I hearing now that they don't even have like a private part? Like it's not good down there. What am I hearing? And this is exactly why now this needed to go on this long, because now there's no denying what the fuck you did, because all those documents have come out and everything has come out with this magic. There's no denying what you did because Kendrick Lamar went fucking bad on Drake. And I was talking about that before it even happened. There's no denying it because look at what's happening with the whole entire black and brown community with the sideshows and the killing and the chaos. There's no denying it because Spanish America is about to blow up because there's one princesa. She got switched out of her family, this baby. And who the family is, they're Rough Riders. And something's really going to end up getting started because somebody's going to go contact the father because now they know exactly what this kid switched at birth is about. That's why they're doing that, because we fought that fight. So because you're so ignorant and delusional and spiteful, you switch their children at birth. They said that they want her to stay overnight, that her lungs are not like expanding properly. Okay. She's just gonna be in the incubator for a few hours. Yes, and you need to take this medication so that when you're breastfeeding again, she'll be able to get more nutrients that will help her develop. Okay, only for one night. Okay. Yeah, I'll stay. Let's go to sleep, and it's okay. I'll be here. And in between those 2 hours of the mother falling asleep, switching her child right there. Then what they're also doing is they're playing, they'll never be able to find out because we wiped all the security footage. And then the master footage, if they want to go in the master database, we have a fake database anyways too, because we're playing with IPX, which I'm going to explain to you in a minute, how the government is the internet service provider. So companies like Comcast, et cetera, Starlink, they have to purchase something called spectrum bands from the government to run internet. Okay, yeah, so there's a master database and the feds own it. But you guys know about the technology that I'm building. We will just be able to get into that technology and we'll be able to get the cameras anyways. Then on top of that, they edited like 4 different databases so people wouldn't even know like what was going on. Like, okay, yeah, my child wasn't born. Wait, what day was my baby born? I could have sworn it was this day. Yeah, look at this email. I remember this. Oh, well, technically, like it was like 2 minutes before midnight. And I'm sorry, we can't release that public health information. It was, we can't look into that day or the day after. We can only look on this day. Okay, yeah, I thought if we switch these different kids at birth into our families, we can molest them and get spiritual powers because we heard about nonsense from space, which is the other thing that's about to come out too. What do you mean? I told you about that intelligence scanner that they're playing with, that technology. I've shown you guys at least 4 different bills that they are trying to pass in California and other states about that technology. Now, one of the things that's getting started here with that technology, hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, good. So one of the other things that's getting started with that technology is the fact that they are trying to hide how that's configured and how the government is the one that's allowing it, because what spectrum band is working here, you guys run the internet, so you already know all the different permissions that are getting ran on the system. You can look up the different code, like the commands and statements that they're putting in, and then you can pull up who's running that technology and get it turned off. The government is running it because they're playing with people of color. Now, because of that technology that they're playing with, and like we're getting messages from space, and I know I can communicate. I'm getting messages from Mother. Oh, I'm telling you, we're gonna work them with like a heavy fist here. That's what they were doing, playing with 3 and 4-year-olds and playing with small kids, trafficking them into the homes of pedophiles. You goofy, disgusting, delusional bitch. And every single last one of them, there's a few more that we're still working on from space. All of them have some type of breast cancer and some type of ovarian cancer and uterine cancer because of what they did. You guys are gonna see this. There's gonna be like they do it annually where they check about cancer rates and stuff like that. And there's no way to fudge that data because in order for them to stay in compliance and get money from the government, they have to give them the data, and they can't edit the EHR because everyone's watching that too. You're gonna see something skyrocket about cancer, certain types of cancer amongst white women, because they started this between the years of 2019 and 2025, which is coming up in just a few months. So now you mean to tell me that you're playing with that technology and they told you from space, this is the child and this is the family. You know them. This is what they created. Yeah, I remember that war. My dad had a business. I ran Contra, 1975. We were like 12 years old, but you remember how hard-headed they were? and we couldn't get makeup and stuff like that and L'Oreal and a lot of stuff. There was stuff like that that was going on because these people were not playing. A lot of the older people that are watching my channel right now, wait, hold on. I know exactly what you're talking about. You couldn't get bananas. You couldn't get certain peppers. You couldn't get tomatoes. There was hella shit that was not in the store. It's about to start again. It's about to get started again because of what they did playing in those people's country. That's about to happen again because this kid switched that birth. It's already getting started. So yeah, so this time, no, we're not gonna have that again. So switching their kids at birth, but also playing with surrogates. And the surrogates followed me to the store. And like, hi, Daisy, the virtual reality, you can hear me? Okay, these are the kids, okay? I just want you to know that I've had 3 kids for them. They keep us like hostage. I just like need your help. The surrogates followed me to the store and I have their picture following me from one store and then following me to another store. So now, what has gotten yes. So now what has gotten started here is so you're now saying that you're gonna take our family because we're indigenous or we fight the good fight. And that you're gonna get spiritual powers off like our grandkids and stuff like that, playing with them. Oh no. Hey. I'm just gonna keep it super, super, super a buck. I'm gonna keep it 100. Every single last person, I'm getting goosebumps on my skin. Every single last person involved in this nonsense, you're gonna get hit so badly for starting that. All you little hoes that went to go hip hop all around, running around and playing with magic, paying for spell work and shit like that, they just buried Petty Levels. You guys know her. I mentioned her on my channel. She died. Once we started talking about bird box and bitches committing suicide, she passed away. They just buried her. You guys are not paying attention. It's done for. All these hoes in Oakland that started all this bullshit playing with white people, like, oh, he's cool. He's friends with Latifah, so he's fine. Yeah, but he's like a disgusting white man, and we know that he's disgusting because somebody else has come to me about him. Okay? All of you guys that want to go play with Matt Haney, all of you guys that want to go play with anybody, starting anything, this is what they were actually doing and trying to hide. This is like one of the most explosive things in America, period. All their secrets have come out that that's how they were playing with some technology from space and that the internet is run from space. And I just took that over because I broke the mantissa. And so I already taught you guys what that looks like. So now what is happening here is you guys are starting to realize, okay, yeah, but that's like a little bit too much fucking drama. Why would you be switching their kids at birth because they're like fighting for their rights? Actually, why are you playing with Daisy like that? Right, because that's the next thing. But why are you playing with her though? No, but she's filing police reports. She's doing what she needs to do. Why is she getting emails talking about you're gonna have her investigated and stuff like that? Because she's going against the white. Okay, so that means that you want this to be happening. So that means I'm gonna kill you. And that's what's going on. These are the type of conversations that are getting started. I really feel fucking bad for you. All of you guys playing with Gavin Newsom, like, oh yeah, Gavin, don't worry about that. He has a lock on all their farms. Yeah, let me look through this. Oh yeah, well, I got kicked out of the technology because I started hella shit with Daisy. But yeah, Gavin, he's gonna handle it. Oh, don't worry about that. We can get our own drink, and we got a deal. We got to connect for coke. Oh yeah, I've been on fentanyl for like 3 fucking years. There is no coke, and I know the difference. Okay, all that you're playing with, and you're starting hella shit. I'm telling you, you guys are gonna end up in the same coffin grave, whether that be your professional coffin, your financial coffin, your economic coffin, your spiritual coffin, your physical one, whatever it is, you're going to end up there playing games with these small children that ended up getting switched into horrible families and ending up dealing with pedophiles with, they just took my daughter, I don't know. They took her from school. They said that we are like under investigation for something. I don't know. I have no fucking idea, but where's my daughter? That's what they were doing to these people playing games. Martha Jimenez from the California Endowment, the same organization that I sued, she's the one doing that with her family. She has a list of the kids that they've switched the last like 18 years. They have that list. I have a hard drive that somebody left at my door. That hard drive has the list of all the Asian children that they targeted for switching. You guys are so done for.